Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing the Harry Potter tag for you today. Okay guys, so I'm just going to get into this. So the number one question is, what is your favorite book? And it's hard. How do you pick a favorite book of the series? I mean, that sounds terrible. So I think if I'd have to pick one, I think I would probably pick Sorcerer's Stone. And that is just because, number one, I've read it the most. You know, it was kind of what drew me into the series, and I think a lot of you can relate with that. I mean, without this, you wouldn't have the series. So I think this is probably just the most important book of the series, and I would say that that's why it's my favorite book. Okay, so number two is, what is your favorite movie of the series? And I would say that is Prisoner of Azkaban for me. Alfonso Cuarón, holy crap, he totally revolutionized the series. I'm actually going to link you guys to another video that I watched, and he sums it up perfectly, because that could be a whole nother video. He saved the series, basically. It could have been this stiff, you know, series that was just for kids, and he totally made it more real and believable, and I just love that he did that. Plus, I have to say probably the main reason is because it's the first time Harry gets to meet Sirius Black, and he totally met my expectations. They did a great job casting Gary Oldman, and I think he played the perfect Sirius, and it's just a great movie where it shows his love for Harry so much, and so I think that that's why I love that movie the most. Okay, so number three is, what is your least favorite book? And I'm gonna, oh my gosh, how do you answer that question? Just like, what's your favorite book? Oh my gosh, it's a series. There aren't, J.K. Rowling doesn't make bad books. How do you answer that? Babe, what's your least favorite book?
The Maze Runner.
What? No, you're just joking now. No, I'm talking about in the Harry Potter series.
Divergent.
No, stop it. He knows. He's just being weird. So I'm going to go ahead and say that Chamber of Secrets is my least favorite. I don't know. It was kind of wacky and weird, and the characters are kind of weird. I don't know. It's hard to choose. Plus, I feel like it was like, I don't know, it's that kind of, I understand the first one being really childish, and I was the perfect age when that one came out, but it was almost like you wanted to grow up really fast with the books, and I feel like the movie didn't portray that as much. I don't know, you guys, it's Okay, so number four is parts of the books that made you cry. Oh my gosh, I think you guys can all relate with me. When Sirius dies, I cried so hard, and I'm talking about during the books. The movies were like way worse because you actually got to see it, but the books, yeah, I would say when Sirius dies, and anytime Harry had to go back to the Dursleys, I would say, like the end of the books when he had to go home and he was just like, well, I wouldn't say home, when he had to go back to the Dursleys, and he was just so distraught and he wanted to stay at Hogwarts. Like, I got that. I understood his, you know, raw emotions of not wanting to go back because Hogwarts was finally his home, you know. And then of course when Hedwig dies, I think everybody dies. And then when Dumbledore dies, I think like at any time anybody, like a main character that you loved died. And then at the very end of the books, you know, when, spoiler alert, when they're at King's Cross with their kids and they're saying goodbye, and like, I bawled so bad. It was so bad. And every time I reread that part, I'm kind of like, I get really teary-eyed. So okay, so number five is, if you could hook up with any Harry Potter character, who would it be? Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a tough one. Cedric Diggory. I mean, and this was like pre-Twilight. This was when he was just Cedric Diggory. I actually thought he was kind of hot then. You know, he had that really nice smile. And, you know, it was so bad. Okay, so number six is, what is your favorite character? And I can't pick one. I don't know if anybody could, and if you can, then good on you, because that is so hard. I would have to say I have three favorite characters for different reasons. Number one is going to be Luna. This is her wand. I have all my favorite characters' wands, of course. Luna makes me want to be a better person. She makes me want to not care what anybody thinks, and especially back when I was in school, you know, I got teased and bullied a lot, and so I loved that she just had that I don't give a crap what anybody thinks attitude. I'm just going to be myself and be wacky and crazy. And even as an adult, I try to remember that because, you know, there's still drama when you're an adult and in the workplace and stuff. So I just try to remember that and try to harness her abilities to be okay with whatever. Number 2 is Hermione, of course. As a younger girl, I loved to read. I was that kind of quiet, mousy girl. And so I loved that she was smart and it was okay. And even now, I mean, that's her. That is Emma Watson as a person, you know. She's smart. She works for the UN. She does a lot of change. And I think that that's awesome in a woman. She's very empowering. And, you know, growing up in the Harry Potter series, you know, you had Harry. He was a boy. And I mean, you wanted to, like, relate with Harry. You wanted to be like, yeah, I'm Harry. But in a lot of ways, I was like in denial that I was actually Hermione, that I was like needing to be empowered and it was okay to be smart and love to read, and there was nothing wrong with that. Last of all, this probably won't surprise any of you, but I would say it's Sirius Black. And that is just because he's Harry's only family that's left, you know? He loves him so much. Oh God, I want to start crying. So I love his character. Because he just wants to prove so bad that he didn't do what everybody thinks he did. He didn't kill Harry's parents or give them up. And so, but he just wants to be there for Harry. That part where he's just like, where he's telling Harry, you know, I want you to come live with me. And like, that made me cry, actually, in the movie. Is back to our other question. So number 7 is, what would your Patronus be? I can tell you what my Pottermore Patronus is, and that's an osprey. And if you don't know what that is, it's a bird. I actually, it was really funny, was just in Florida at the beginning of the year, and we went on a like nature cruise, like water cruise in Naples, and they kept pointing out all the osprey, which are big birds. They're beautiful, and they lay their like big eggs in these trees, and it's really cool. But it was just funny because like after I got home from that trip is when the Patronus test came out on Pottermore, and I was like, wow, that's so coincidental that I got that. But in real life, I don't know what I would be. Honey, honey, come here. I need you to tell me what I would be. What would I be? What do you think I would be? What would my Patronus be?
Hot chocolate?
No, it has to be an animal.
I have no idea.
You don't know?
Is it not called spirit animal?
No, I mean, like, it's kind of the same thing, but it's not the same thing. He's hopeless, I'm telling you. No, I don't know what I would be in real life. Maybe like a fox or something. I don't know. They're like really stealthy and majestic and really pretty. But I don't know what I would be. Kind of like the osprey. They were really pretty and majestic. They were flying over the water, and their feathers were really pretty. So I kind of like that. I don't know why. I need to read more on Wikipedia about osprey. Find out more information about them. So number 8 is, if you could have the Elder Wand, the Resurrection Stone, or the Invisibility Cloak, which one would you have and why? I would have the Invisibility Cloak. I don't know. I just think it would be cool to listen in and hear what people really think about you. And I mean, like, at the end of that story, he was the only one that like survived. He was the only one that was left when death came to get him. So, and they parted as old friends, and I thought that was kind of cool. I don't want power. I don't want to bring people back from the dead, although that is a really interesting topic and maybe another video conversation for that. But I kind of liked the Invisibility Cloak. He kind of just was like, he lived his life, he did what he wanted, and he was just there. And when he was like, okay, I'm done living, he just like greeted death as an old friend, and I just thought that concept was really neat. Number 9 is, what house would you be in? Obviously, duh, you guys. You guys should know this by now. I even did my eye makeup to kind of go with the gold and you know, mahogany, deep burgundy, whatever color you want to call it, on my eyes. But I have been a Gryffindor since I read the first book, before there was ever a test or anything. And I have done so many tests online. I've done the official Pottermore. I got Gryffindor, and that actually 2 different times. I've taken multiple other tests online, and it always comes up Gryffindor. So, and J.K. Rowling even mentioned that you cannot force the test, because a lot of the actors actually tried to do that when they were doing the official test for MuggleNet.com, and they actually were forcing it, and it was giving them different answers. So I know that it's not a forced thing. I actually think I'm a Gryffindor. I always have been, and plus that dark red looks really good on me. So number 10 is, if you could meet any of the cast from the movies, who would it be? So I actually got to meet my first one this year, and it was Tom Felton. He signed my little pop figurine, and he was such a great guy. It was actually supposed to be at our Planet Comic-Con, which is our local Comic-Con here in Kansas City, which is actually kind of blown up in the last few years. So actually Bonnie Wright was supposed to come, and I got super excited because this year I went as a Quidditch player. I spent over a year, configuring this outfit and getting all the pieces and planning and everything. And it actually, a few weeks before Comic-Con, they announced she was coming, and I was super excited because the number on my practice jersey is her number that she wears in the movie. And back then I had my hair a little longer and it looked a lot like hers. But she had to cancel the week before, and so they actually tried to replace her with Tom Felton. And so that I wasn't really disappointed in that either. He's really cool. I actually have followed him on Instagram and stuff and Twitter for a while. So he's really cool dude. He actually skateboarded in. I actually came in the morning of, was in line, and he skateboarded in, and then was like, "Hey, I'm hungry." So literally right next to his booth was a like a vendor food with food and drinks, and he walked right over there. He was just like, "I'm just gonna go over," and we're all standing there watching, and the people like in the vendor booth were just like, "Oh my god," they were taking pictures of him with their phones. It was so cool. But he loved my outfit. He said it was probably one of the best Quidditch cosplays he's ever seen. And you can imagine he probably goes to a million cons every year and sees lots. So I thought that was really cool. He's a really great guy. But I would have to say Emma Watson, just because, oh man, she's just, like I said before, she's so empowering. And I would love to just just thank her for putting that all out there and taking a risk and just being a great role model for people. And then of course Gary Oldman, because Sirius Black, but also because Gary Oldman is just freaking talented and amazing with every other movie and TV show he does. And so I just think it's gonna be hard to try to see them, but hopefully maybe I'll get really lucky someday. And I'm hoping to actually maybe go to LeakyCon or the Wizarding World celebration they have every year, maybe next year, so we'll see. So number 11 is, have you played any of the video games? I've actually played some of the Harry Potter Lego. My husband actually got me this little Nintendo DS last year just so that I could play some of the Legos. But actually he just got me the actual Nintendo Harry Potter Half-Blood Prince. So I actually haven't gotten a chance to play that yet, so I'm actually really looking forward to that. And then we have a PlayStation 4 and we are looking to get the whole bundle. It's been on sale for a while, so I think I might get it. The only problem is just actually being able to sit down and play them. So I'd actually just like to get a Vita so that I could play them anywhere, and I wouldn't have to be confined to the TV area in our living room. So number 12 is, if you were on the Quidditch team, which obviously I would be on Gryffindor, what position would you play? And I would probably have to say Seeker, just because I love a challenge. I'm super competitive, and I would be that person that would be like, no, I have to find the snitch. Like, I have to do it. I don't think I could be a beater or a chaser. Maybe a chaser, because again, like I said, I'm really competitive. But I really think I could be a Seeker, just because I have that, when I play a game or when I'm into something, I have to be the winner. Like, I have to win. And so I think you have to probably be really competitive to play that position, because you have to be motivated to win, to get the snitch. So I think I would be Seeker. So number 13 is, were you happy with the ending? And I would say yes, yes, yes. I love the way that JK ended it. It was so great. I feel like it wrapped everything up. Unfortunately, you know, we're all wanting to see more. I would love to see more, and I think everybody agrees with that. But I think the way she cut it off was perfect, you know. Well, hello. I feel like, you know, having all their kids at the end, and I feel like, you know, ending where they started, the whole I open at the close is so perfect, and JK did such a good job at that. So yeah, I liked the ending, and like I said before, it made me bawl like a baby when I finished the last book, you know, when it came out. Last but not least is number 14, and it is What Does Harry Potter Mean to You? And I'm serious, I'm probably gonna have to do a whole video on this at some point, but honestly, Harry Potter got me through some really rough times. The first book, I just latched onto immediately. I was one of those kids that dreamed that I would get my letter and that I would be whisked off to a school all year round and, you know, get to learn magic. And I mean, I think a lot of kids related with that, but I especially did because, you know, my home life growing up wasn't that great. And so I kind of just wanted Dumbledore or Hagrid to come and pick me up and just say, hey, let's go, you know. And like I said, throughout school, I was kind of a closet nerd for a long time until I really got that group of friends that accepted me for who I was. And so reading Harry Potter really got me through that. And then now I just annoy everybody with how much Harry Potter I love. So, but I mean, I just think they're just such relatable books. I do. I think J.K. Rowling created an entire world and is still creating an entire world that is just so relatable in how we treat people and how we live our lives and the choices we make. And I really think that's awesome. And I mean, yeah, we can talk about that through a whole nother video, but I just wanted to convey my love for Harry Potter. And the reason I do, it's not just because it's some weird fandom, but it taught me a lot growing up where I didn't have that, those teachable moments with family and friends. J.K. Rowling and Harry Potter and his friends taught me that. So I think it's a really important book series, and I encourage you to share it with your loved ones, you know, watch the movies, read the books to your kids. I cannot wait to have kids just to immerse them in Harry Potter. You know, I've already got that Harry Potter nursery picked out. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Be looking out for some more videos coming up soon. If you want to see more videos like this having to do with Harry Potter, please give it a thumbs up below. If you liked the video in general, also give it a thumbs up below, and remember to subscribe and share this with your friends, you know, share the love. So hope you guys have a great holiday, and we'll see you next time. Bye!